This is my vintage door closer, which I've already had to pieces because it wasn't closing, it wasn't doing anything. It was just like there was no spring in it. So I've had it to pieces. I've just put the top back on just to have a little go with it, see if it's working, which it seems to be. So I'm just going to take off. Oh, by the way, it's a Defiant Mark II. But the make of it, I don't know. I'd expect it to be a brand name rather than a model. But anyway, put it back in here. I'm just going to take the top back off just to show you what I did. So let's put this back up here. Right, here's the top with the two screws, which came out quite easily because it's so oily. And on that subject, I think there's maybe some kind of hydraulic oil in it, because when you laid it down, it left a mark on the surface, an oily mark. So I don't know whether to put any hydraulic oil in it when I close it back up. At the moment, I'm not going to bother. Okay, top off. That cap off. So what I did was, I found that the end of the spring had come off, it had snapped. So it was virtually a full revolution round where it had just sheared. So I put one of my infamous crappy welds on it, a bit of a MIG weld. I slid, what I did was, I slid under there a piece of sheet metal and welded it from two sides on the top, just like not much more than tack welds, because that's really all you can do. And then the sheet metal got stuck to it, so I just had to carefully grind it off with the Dremel multi. So I haven't even bothered grinding the metal down because it's stronger as it is. It seems to work. It seems to have done it. And on one end of the spring is a little hook, and that hook hooks onto there, and then over that goes the cap. Press the spring down with the cap until it fits, and then wiggle this until it fits, and then you're back together. Put those in. So the next job is, when I've had a little play with it just to try and fathom out how the spring should seat in order to make this arm start to feel the resistance of the spring, I'm just going to do that, which I've actually already had a play with and I think it works. So the next job is to get all this horrible gunge off it. It's got this nasty 60s blue paint clipped around the edges, obviously all this old oil. That'll come off with some terps or paraffin. Not that you're going to see that bit, but it wants to be all done right. There's a hole at the back, and in through that hole you can see the spring. So I'm thinking, if I find that I need to put some damping oil in it, hydraulic oil, I might just get a little funnel, and when I've tried it, fitted it back into situ, I'll take it back off and shove some in there to save me taking the thing to bits. So, next job. Fathom out what this little catch does. That fits into 1, 2, 3. There are 7 of these little notches, and it seems to fit into every one of them. Oh no, not that one. Yes, that one. It fits into all of them, so I'm assuming that that's somehow you tension the spring that in where you think it's right, and then set it up. But I can't do that until I've actually got it on the door, which is not at my house. It's an hour's drive away at my daughter's big old 19th century townhouse. So you can see already that I've got some resistance there. There was none of that before. You could just go all the way around with it. So that's quite good. God knows whether that weld is going to stand up to day after day of tension. But the good thing is it's a pulling kind of a tension rather than a pushing down. So I reckon it's probably going to resist breaking and see us proud for a few years. So on the door, if that's above the door, that's the door. So when that comes round, that is actually. But then what do you do? Do you give it some real bollocks? Give it some real. Do you go like that? No, because the spring stops. But then that's where you come in with this thing. There's a little noggin on the bottom of this arm which catches the back of that little catch there. So you can keep turning it round. But anyway, so far so good. Next job is to get it cleaned, get some nitromors on that paint. Hopefully it won't bring off the old gold paint. Get some paraffin rubbed all over it, petrol, and then see what it looks like. So that's it for now.